I would like to say before I start the video that I do have a lazy eye. It's pretty obvious. If you have stumbled upon this video and you watched it and you liked it and you're intent on seeing where I go with it, because granted it is my first video, but if you're gonna see where I go with all this, because I don't even know myself, just let me know. I'll start wearing sunglasses. But until then, good morning YouTube. Serpico Semper Fi here. First video ever. And the reason I decided I was gonna do videos is because of the arguments I've been facing in comment sections on other YouTube videos. It's erroneous and it's silly. It's just silly. The number one argument, the one this video is about, is the nuclear argument. You tell them, well, I don't think there should be any regulations on firearms. I think you should own whatever you want, you know, because the law doesn't really apply to criminals anyway. As everybody likes to point out, criminals don't follow laws. So you say you can't have fully automatic weapons, you can't have explosives, you can't have assault rifles. Well, you know, if a gang member wants an assault rifle, they're not gonna, you know, oh, well, the law says I can't have it. They're gonna get it. Well, anti-gunners and the gun, not necessarily the gun grabbers, but the people that are against guns, instantly come back with, oh, so you think everybody should have nuclear devices? And the simple answer is no. They know it's no. They're hoping that you're gonna say no. And if you say yes, they're going to just call you crazy and walk away. When they're hoping they say no, because that's a place to start. Well, my question is, since when did this, it's unloaded, but when did this become equivalent to a nuclear device? How did they even think you can start to compare a .44 Magnum to something that can wipe out at least a quarter of a mile in any direction? Makes no sense to me. You know, they say, oh, well, okay, they covered nukes. Their next one, oh, what about military jets and tanks? Well, military jets and tanks, you can own those if you have the money. They can't be as capable as the military, but you can own a tank rolling down Main Street, you know, with all the armor on it, and it's legal if you have hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of dollars to dump into buying one. There's a former Marine test pilot. He was a lieutenant colonel when he got out, and he actually bought a Harrier. It was a British Harrier in service with the British Air Force, and it costs, you know, millions of dollars to upkeep and fuel and things like that, but it's legal. He has it. Next is explosives. Everybody, oh, well, what about grenades? Well, grenades kill everybody within 16 feet. They wound anybody within 45-ish feet, you know, from where that grenade is. It's the same thing as the nuke. You can't direct it. You know, you can't direct where anybody gets hurt. Not to mention it's legal to own explosives if you go through the right channels, and again, if you have enough money. Next thing they go, well, machine guns. What about machine guns? Do you think people should be running around with Tommy guns and M16s, AR-15s, fully automatic? When they start asking questions like that, I just point them towards bumpfire techniques and slide fire devices. The ATF has already designated these as legal. All bumpfire is basically pulling the weapon forward while using something sturdy to pull the trigger back. So the recoil of the weapon causes the weapon to move backwards enough to reset the trigger. Slide fire is basically the same thing, except it's a $350 stock that you can buy and a couple extra pieces. And again, you can go look up videos, and you pull the trigger, and as long as you're pulling the trigger, because of the way the device is built, it will keep firing. It's legal. You know, you can make a legal machine gun. So I don't see the point in having machine gun restrictions and laws, especially since all you have to really do, if you know what you're doing, is buy some scrap metal or file down something, and suddenly you have a machine gun without a slide fire device. It's illegal. It's a federal offense, and you're going to go away for many years if somebody figures out that you've done that. But it's possible. But again, we're talking about criminals. Just me voicing my opinion. I just find that there's not enough space in a comment section. 500 characters is not enough for me to voice my opinion. I'm kind of screaming out to nobody right now. Until people start watching these videos, I'm pretty much just talking to myself, but I'm getting it out there. Just one man's thoughts.